Good morning to you, our audience. Ted and Ed TV channel welcome each of you to our weekly Saturday broadcast where we give insightful views on economic, political, world, and environmental issues concerning how money connects those matters. Our hosts, Mr. Ted Harvey Sr. and Mr. Edward Bishop III, are now taking each of you into our world of money and its value, along with the evils that come from the greed of hoarding financial power. He that controls the gold controls the important decisions in this world.
Good evening, Ed. How are you?
Oh man, I'm hanging in there, Ted. I've been waiting here to get this thing going here. We got a lot of stuff going on here.
I know we want to welcome our guests for the Ted and Ed TV show, Money Connection, and we got a lot of things going. So much stuff going on right now, man. I tell you, it is crazy. One of the things, we're going to talk about is I'm going to start it right on off. Wag the dog.
What the heck is wagging the dog, man?
I've never seen the movie. I've seen parts of it. But, when a president gets in trouble, deep trouble, it always starts a war. So they get the whole thing off of him, pressure off of him. So right now, 45 is in deep doo-doo, man. And he's talking war with Russia. He's talking war with Syria, and he's, all kind of, he's selling wolf tickets. So right now, nobody know where he's going, man. Nobody know what he's going to do because Russia's selling wolf tickets too.
Well, it may be a smoke screen because I thought they were all Putin and him were two peas in a pod. So it could be a smokescreen. You think that they're doing this and everything to throw everybody off? I don't know. It's I think he is actually really confused, Ted, about what's going on here in this world. And when he gets confused, he starts running around, like you said. Instead of wagging his tail, he's chasing his tail. You know how a cat does. You know how a cat just runs around in a circle chasing his tail. That's what Trump's doing.
He's chasing it for sure, man. Because it's crazy.
He's doing it. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if Congress is going to let him start a war now, but with this new thing that came on with Paul Ryan and stuff leaving and not running for re-election and stuff and everything, I really think that him coming forth and everything with that statement and stuff that he is not going to be running for re-election and stuff is really throwing them, that whole Republican thing, Congress and the White House and everything, man, into a tither and stuff because they have no idea what's going to come down. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of them and stuff are saying that want to know why did he say it right now. But I guess, hey, you have to say it sometime. And he's been thinking about doing this since last year. So,
well, you want to cut and run. He got a nice little retirement package, and he got what he wanted. He's been begging for these big tax cuts, and he got that. So I think what it is that he's a scared chicken, man. That's what it is. I hate to say that, man, but that's what it is, man. He's not standing up for democracy and all of that, and the Constitution, because he know the stuff that's going on. So he just want to get out of the rat race and think he can just sit at home and just relax and make money on speeches.
Well, he's going to probably do that, and I'm pretty sure he's got a lot of money stashed away and laid aside and stuff for himself.
Well, but $10-15 million ain't a lot of money nowadays, bro.
But he, like you said, that's just sitting there laid aside because he's been in the Congress for 20 years, so he's going to get a pension from Congress, and he's gonna have health care, so he doesn't worry about that. He can spend time there watching his kids and stuff grow up and sit there in that seat there where he's at home, and kind of, I think he's planning on being maybe one of those lobbyists and stuff and everything that's going to be there in Congress, but he's actually going to be sitting at home most of the time, but he's going to probably get one of them lobbying gigs or whatever. They got it set up for him. Or sitting on one of them boards and stuff and everything where they give him $5 or $6 million for his name being on the board, and for him knowing what's going on there in Congress, who to touch out and everything. So somebody's planning on putting some money into his pocket and thing. He ain't worried about it. You know, it's almost like the last Speaker of the House and everything. He's out there sitting on a golf course and everything, getting drunk. You know, he's full of their whiskey, and his face and got pocked and all that because he drinks too much. But I don't think Ryan is the kind of person who's going to be drinking a lot, because he's a health freak. You know, he's really into health things and stuff. So he's got a, man, the door is wide open and stuff for him as far as making money or whatever. So, and then, you know, with all this other stuff going on there in Congress and stuff with Donald Trump, and I really believe that him and Mitch McConnell are really embarrassed by this man. They are truly embarrassed by him as being a president and being backing him up. And so, as you can see, a lot of those House representative
checking out.
Politicians are leaving. Yeah, they're leaving, man. They're checking out. They're going. They say, hey, we can't put up with this mess here. He's tarnishing them. He's tainting all of them. And the ones who are staying there and everything are being stained. And they're going to be stained for a long time because they did his bidding and stuff for him. So, you know, it's not something that a lot of them are proud of what they're doing. So it's, and I wouldn't be surprised if Mitch McConnell said, forget it, you know, in 2020, if Trump's still there, and stop saying he ain't going to run again. So it's
Mitch McConnell got too much money, man. They say in his coffers, man, he got something almost like $200 million for his party.
Yeah, well, Mitch he's just like Ryan and stuff. He got, you know, boards and stuff that's going to put him on, and man, the money's going to be flowing in. And plus, his wife is out there working and stuff and everything. She's been in politics for a while too, so they ain't hurting at all. You know, it's you know, it's just the prestige and stuff of being there as a Senate Majority Leader. Because I don't know if the Democrats are going to take over the Senate. It's going to be a tight fight, but they could do it. If Trump is still sitting there, they could do it because Trump is just tainting everybody. I mean, he's tainting this party big time, and it's creating a lot of problems. So I don't know.
And he's going to take his presidency, you know, right to the edge as far as it can go, as far as doing what he can do.
Yeah.
And so, you know, so he's going to, you know, put his little word out, and he's still got these diehard followers. You know, he can't do any wrong.
But they're getting smaller. That group is getting smaller and stuff and everything, because everything that's coming up, you know, it's just really bad. And I do believe that a lot of them believe that Mueller and stuff is right, is nipping at his behind. he can't keep on running from him. Eventually, Robert Mueller going to catch up with him and drag him down. He's nipping at his behind, buddy. He's nipping at his behind.
He got his lawyer, and they bust into this guy's house, his office, and I don't know what that means, his hotel, because they said house, office, and hotel. Hotel room.
He probably got a hotel room somewhere where he keeps the stuff here at. Because old Cohen, he's like he's something else, boy. He's something else. But he has broken him down, man. He has taken him and really brought him down 2 or 3 rungs and stuff. You know, that bravado that he had for a while and everything. I'm gonna spend this woman's money. She's gonna give us $20 million, and I'm gonna spend all this money. Now he's tiptoeing around.
You know, the porn star picked up a lawyer that's a bulldog.
Yeah, she did that. You're wondering stuff how Michael Avenatti is going to be able to get his money and stuff from this whole thing. But I'd almost bet right now that he has clients and stuff right now who are beating his door down and everything, trying to get him to be their attorney. So I don't think he's going to be worrying about any money either.
No,
and Stormy's probably got a lot of things going on for herself out there too and stuff. She's probably got a lot of money that's going to be coming down. People are going to want her to show up and everything or whatever. So it's all about.
They probably already got the book already typed up already.
Yeah, it's all about money.
It's all about money.
It's all about that money. And now you see Mueller has brought in the other lady, Karen or whatever her name is. He brought her in too because she's on a different plane than Stormy is. Stormy only, according to her, had sex with him one time, but Karen had fell in love with this man. And that's a whole different dynamics and stuff there as far as what's going on and stuff there and everything. So Trump is man, he is catching it from all sides, and the only thing that he can do is get angry. And you hearing all these things out of the White House, man, it's just horrible. But to get to another topic that you were adding to that about the stock market, you notice that he has affected the stock market with his crazy tariff stuff that's going on. Trying to fight China, man. And these people over there in Wall Street are saying, hey, man, what the heck are you doing?
And they don't know what to do, man. They don't know what to do, man. They sit up here, they say, I'm going to take this money out of here and then go put it over here. And next thing you know, because it's constantly going up and down 200 to 500, sometimes 700 points, man. And, back in the day, man, we're talking only about 30 years ago, man. If it hit 500-700 points, man, the world is in panic.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's so much money out there that's being played. People are, at first, I was thinking people was just, cashing out, profiting out and what have you. But now they don't know exactly where to go. So what they're doing now is what I see is that, like, all of a sudden Netflix is the big comer now, and it's big, it's up to $300 now. And then, they taking money out of Amazon. Amazon, man, went down. Facebook went down like $30, man. That's a lot of money. That meant Facebook lost a whole lot of money.
Yeah, through that thing that they found out about. But it's not. I think Netflix and stuff is like a whole different now, the dynamics and stuff as far as what Amazon and Facebook and stuff. Facebook got caught up in that election thing, and Jeff Bezos and his group and everything. I think Jeff is kind of teetering along there and everything and trying to get his wheels and stuff together. But I really believe Amazon stock is going to continue to go up. They're going to go up. I heard that they're thinking about buying some company out there. I forgot what his company's name was, but it's a very important company and stuff for him. So he's using his money and stuff to leverage to buy some things and stuff and everything. So, but Netflix and stuff, people now are starting to, this cord cutter thing and stuff has gotten so big now that it started out when I started getting involved in, they had like 25 million people and stuff out there who were cutting their cables and using and streaming. And now, man, you talking almost the whole market and stuff and everything is in an uproar. Streaming is the most popular thing. And so Netflix and stuff, that fits right into their ballpark there. So it's, man, there's a lot of people out there streaming. Nobody is got a cable contract at all with either AT&T or Comcast and stuff. The only thing they have is internet access.
Yeah, and right now they're trying to, if the person that comes up where you can just get internet and it's national and it's reasonable, they're gonna cut that. They're gonna cut all these little cable places.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now that's the reason why people have cable, because they have to have internet access.
Internet access, yeah. You got all these gamers and stuff out there who are using the internet and all the other stuff. So it's I think Google made a big mistake by stopping their venture into giving people gigabyte internet. I think they made a big mistake. I think that they got involved with the money that they were throwing away. Well, not throwing away, but outlaying, and it created a pause and stuff for them because they couldn't see it. But the division and stuff and everything out there that they had, they needed to have followed to that vision, because people got to have internet, Ted, and the people in this country and stuff need fast internet. And then we're not talking about that stuff that, you only getting, a little bit of speed and everything. They want gigabyte speed, because the market, man, for people who are getting on to use that stuff and everything, and every household in this country is eventually, I'm thinking at least 5 or 10 years down the road, it's going to have high-speed internet inside their home, because they're going to need it. They're going to need it. And that's why I think that Google made a big mistake by not continuing their venture into that market. And Comcast and AT&T, man, they are, allowing other people and stuff to venture into that market and stuff by messing with this net neutrality stuff. They're thinking about if they can control the FCC and use net neutrality and everything to keep their power and stuff in there, they're in a big mistake, because somebody is getting ready to figure out how to get high-speed internet in these people's homes. If they can figure out how to do it wirelessly and knock AT&T and Comcast out, they're going to
get that right. You got that right. I'm telling you, man.
They're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on in the stock market that people are, the games that they're playing and that type of thing. But one of the things that I saw that you had on here, which I was trying to figure out what you were talking about, is tax cuts triggers auto state taxes. What is that?
Automatic state tax increases.
Is that just in Illinois?
No, it's not. There's about 23, 30 states out there in there. When they enacted policies and stuff several years ago, when the government was having problems with the crisis there that they had, when they lost all that money and everything, a lot of those state legislators and stuff put an automatic tax increase thing into the state tax, that everybody in the state and stuff is going, that their taxes are going to go up automatically without anything said. If the revenue from the federal government falls off, their taxes, the state taxes and stuff, start accelerating. And the state legislative and stuff don't have to do anything. It's automatic. When that revenue drops off, it automatically sends them up. They automatically get a tax increase. It's set. And the only way that they can stop it is the state legislators and stuff have to go in and go through an enactment of laws and stuff to decrease those state taxes. But most of them don't want to do it and everything, because when they lose those federal funds and stuff and everything, it puts a big burden upon their state budget. And especially Illinois. Illinois can't afford to lose any money. And there's a lot of other states out there who can't afford to lose any money either. So, but a lot of these states and stuff where there's automatic kicker and stuff are in the South. And the South part of the stuff in like Texas and Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, all those people have this thing. So when they enacted that tax cut thing in December, when it eventually hits these states and stuff and they don't get that money from the federal government, the state tax automatically starts rising.
Wow. So who knows? I mean, they might raise it up to 10, 12.
They don't. It's not the state. It's an automatic increase thing that they have, that they offset that loss in revenue from the federal government by increasing the state taxes.
Wow. That's going to hurt a whole lot of people.
So these people inside and businesses also who are in these states, because their taxes are going to go back up too. The federal government gave it, and the state takes it away. And the state legislative, Ted, all they have to do is just hold their hands up. I don't know what happened. You know, they know what happened. They can't stop it. It was set in place by them. So we're going to be caught up with that mess and stuff and everything. And I don't know how we're going to get out of it, but a lot of people better beware and stuff. And I think a lot of people who are in those states where these automatic kicker is at, when they realize what the heck happened and everything, they're going to really get pissed off at those Republicans out there who passed that tax cut.
Well, you see, they already predicted, you know, I mean, you know, they getting the consumer, I mean, now left or right, you know, with the foods prices going up, with the gas, they already predicted that it's going to go up to $2.75, almost $3, you know, and so it's going to be, you know, hey, you know, they can say what they want to say about President Obama, but he was holding down costs, you know, he was holding down.
He held it down, brother. He held it down. And then, but when that, and these are Freedom Caucus folks and stuff and everything, man, them son of guns is pissed. And they're going back home to their constituents and stuff during holiday times and vacation time, and they are getting an earful from their people out there. And I mean, they beating them over the head for that daggone tax cut thing that they enacted and stuff and everything, which is going to cause the federal deficit to get up into that $1 trillion mark.
Yeah, they've already predicted it's going to be over $1 trillion.
It's going to be in that $1 trillion mark.
And it took President Obama 8 years to get it down to under 500 million, because he had gotten it. Because when he came in office, it was over $1 trillion already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's heading right back up there, and everything is against the whole 8 years that these Freedom Caucus folks were fighting about. You know, they in one swift kick, man, they just reversed everything that they, for 8 years, that they sat down there and they preached about spending. And they went around there and they kicked that thing right back down that bucket. And Trump now is starting to realize that he done messed up big time. So him and the House majority leader and everything, McCarthy, are trying to figure out how they're going to rescind some of that money and stuff that they gave away. And they're beating the air because they are not going to be able to do it. They're trying, but they're not going to be able to do it. It's just too much, you know. They just can't.
I mean, when you go from what was it, 35% and down to 21%?
Yeah. and then most of that money and stuff went to their billionaire friends. And I don't know if you saw it and stuff and everything, but Apple just turned around there and they got something like $100 billion and stuff that they got through this daggone tax cut thing that they put in their coffers. Well, Tim Cook and the board said they're not gonna give that money back to their employees and raise their salaries up. They're gonna buy back stock and give it to the dividends to their stockholders. Yep. Hey, it ain't getting back to the people who want to spend the money. It is in a reverse order as of what they're saying. And then Trump got the audacity to go to some of these states, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and sit there and tout his tax cut. I know you guys have got y'all tax cut. Haven't you got your tax cut? And these people are sitting in the audience. They like Trump, but they look at him like he's a fool. We haven't seen 1/4 of a tax cut. It ain't in our paycheck. We don't know where it's at. So at least when Bush ran the stuff up,
he gave us
$600.
Yes, man, he's full of it, man. Hey, now what is this? What is this CFPB?
That's the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
Okay.
Elizabeth Warren fought President Obama to get this board enacted in 2009. She wanted to be the director of the board, but the Congress found out that they hated her. This was before she became a senator. And they knew that they could not get her confirmed to run the board, this bureau. So what she did and stuff, she finally backed off and let this gentleman named Richard Cordray become the director of the Consumer Financial Protection Board. Well, the Consumer Financial Protection Board dealt with credit cards, the people who were being gouged by interest rates on credit cards. They are in charge of making sure they have rules and regulations that are sitting out there to get those interest rates stabilized and to let people, Truth in Lending Act, they enforce that. They also dealt with these banks and stuff who were overcharging people and stuff for these frivolous things. You know, if you cash a check and everything and it bounces or whatever, they got some abnormal fee on there and everything, and they're going to charge $29. Well, they went and started fighting for this stuff and make sure that these banks and these lending institutions, they cut back on these payday lenders and stuff when they were charging 200 and 300% interest and stuff for somebody who wanted to come in there and get a payday loan for 30 days, and they charge them almost 200%. You go in there and get a loan for $500, you got to pay them back $1,000. Well, they cut all that stuff out. Matter of fact, over the 7 years that they were in power and stuff there, they brought back over $12 billion back into the consumer. Well, Mr. Cordray decided that it is time for him to leave the board because he wants to run for governor of Ohio, the Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
So what Trump did is, because he hated the Consumer Financial Protection Board because they had so many rules and regulations, and he was the person to get rid of rules and regulations, he decided that he was going to put his Office of Budget Management Director in charge of the Consumer Financial Protection Board, who is Mick Mulvaney. Well, Mick Mulvaney was a House of Representative person and stuff from South Carolina, and he was part of the Freedom Caucus. And he put him in charge of his budget. So then he says, well, since Cordray left, I'm going to make you acting director of the Consumer Financial Protection Board. Well, Mick went in there, and right now he is cutting out all the rules. He is destroying that board. Since he has came in office in November, they have not gotten anything. They have cut these rules for all these banks and stuff because the Consumer Financial Protection Board and stuff had a rule in place that these banks every quarter had to tell the board and stuff what they were doing and stuff and everything to enhance the consumers and stuff. If they had a problem and stuff going on with their credit card, they gave a report what they were doing, to how they were going to help save their consumers and stuff, money and stuff, the regulations and all that. He cut that out. He cut the regulations and stuff for the payday lenders. So they back up now, gouging folks and stuff now with this payday lender stuff and everything. So he's cutting all those rules and regulations out. And we find out that according when they created the Consumer Financial Protection Board, that they put in place some stopgap things to keep the Consumer Financial Protection Board strong, and did not allow, the president or the Congress and stuff and everything to almost willy-nilly throw somebody into their job. It was supposed to have went to the deputy chairman, director and stuff for the Consumer Financial Protection Board. Well, Trump overrode that and threw Mike in there and said, you destroy this thing, and that's what he has done. The Congress and stuff was getting ready to give them something like, I think it was $4 or $5 billion and stuff to help them to monies to fight cases and stuff or whatever. And Mulvaney told them, y'all keep y'all money. I don't need it. It's a mess going on there, buddy. I'm telling you, Ted, there's a mess going there.
Well,
and
I just read an article.
They went to court to stop Trump from putting this guy Mulvaney and stuff in charge of this daggone thing, but the court said no, he could do that. Well, the lady and stuff who was the deputy director and stuff of it didn't have all of her ducks in a row when she went to court, because it was already set in place what's supposed to happen. She did not have a ducks in a row when she came there. So now they're going back to court and stuff now and everything, and they're hoping to get a favorable ruling and stuff from the courts next week, and throw this Mike Mulvaney out of there and put this lady, I think her name is Loretta something and stuff. She's as he was the deputy director, she's going to be the director of the Consumer Financial Protection Board. Hopefully they will win that case and throw Mike Mulvaney and stuff out of there and stuff, and then they can go back to start doing things and stuff for the consumers if the judge rules in their favor this time.
Ooh, man, I'm telling you, man, it is going crazy, because I just read an article yesterday, and they were saying that City Court and Wells Fargo, they're dealing with these type lenders that you were talking about,
payday lenders,
and they have they dole out over $1 billion, almost $1.5 billion to these different kinds of companies,
right?
Because it's like they loan out car loans and what have you, just like prime loans,
right?
And that's exactly what they're doing, but it's on a smaller scale. It's not the big, large loans. It's cars. It's getting $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever, and that's where Wells Fargo is putting their money now.
Right. Well, not only Wells Fargo, Ted, all of your major banks and stuff have a small division and stuff within those banks and stuff, and their job is to give these payday lenders this cash. Now, it's a high risk fund and stuff that they have, but the return on that daggone money, man, is tremendous.
Oh, yeah.
Tremendous. They can get it, but they put it as a high risk thing. So if you want to invest into it, it's high risk. You can lose your money, but you got a chance, man, of getting a windfall if that money, if you put it over there and these payday lenders, and they get that money back, because there are a lot of folks and stuff who go to these payday lender outfits and everything, and they don't give them their money and stuff back or whatever. But the people who do pay their money back and everything, man, they're putting a lot of money back in these folks' hands. So, but then one of the things that I wanted to say about the Consumer Financial Protection Board, they also had a case going against Equifax when they had this thing going on and stuff with them, and this Mulvaney and stuff told the people and stuff to drop that case. And I
think Mulvaney is probably one of the evilest guys going, ain't he? He went in there and cut a lot of stuff for what they call as a safety net, and he was just cutting. Well, Medicare, Social Security.
Well, Trump likes them. Trump likes those people and stuff who we put it into their job and everything, who are doing the dirty work that he wants to have done. The guy who was in charge of the EPA, Pruitt and stuff, Scott Pruitt, he is doing the dirty work and everything for Trump. So Trump is protecting him, even though this man is really making a joke out of that office there. And
what do you got? Almost 20 agents guarding him.
Yeah, he wants 20 guards. He's trying to find him a private jet now he can fly around in. He got to have him a bulletproof car. Everybody flies first class. He just took that. He was the one that we talked about on Saturday about Carl Icahn. He took a whole group over there to this foreign country to sell this liquefied gas and stuff to this company and everything. Well, his plane had a stopover in France, and so he let all the people off, and they spent a whole day there in France and stuff partying and everything. And they missed the plane the next day to get over there to this other country. And they were partying too much.
Wow.
Man, it's a joke, man. It's a joke what's going on and what Trump has allowed to happen and stuff there. And I see that Trump has decided to go ahead and keep his daughter and his son-in-law now, because they was almost out the door. He had told them to get out. But after all this stuff happened with Mueller and stuff and everything, and all the other stuff happening on, he told them that they got to stay because he needs somebody to have his back. Because he's even losing old Kellyanne Conway is cutting him off.
Yeah, you haven't heard much about her or seen her anywhere.
Well, she's back into the spotlight and stuff now and everything, because they think that she was one of the person and stuff who was leaking all of these things and stuff out of the White House, and they've accused her of doing it. Well, we don't know if she's doing it or not, but because she's been accused of leaking all this stuff and everything, I think Trump was kind of looking at her out of the corner of his eye, but she's saying that she hasn't done anything. But I just read an article the other day about her husband. He is the one, I guess he's an attorney or whatever. And anytime Trump sends out a tweet, he sends him back some other kind of tweet telling that he was wrong. Well, when they raided his Michael Cohen's office, Trump sent out their tweet saying that there is no more client and attorney relationship and everything going on. Well, her husband, he turned around and put out a tweet and everything, because he's involved with the Justice Department. He sent out a tweet and everything with a URL address and stuff on it and everything that you can click on to. And when you click on to it, it sends you to the Department of Justice's website, and there's an article and stuff in there and stuff that tells anyone and stuff what the prosecutors and stuff have to go through to get a warrant to bust your house down.
Mm.
So he did that on the sly against Trump, and he did a couple other things that Trump has done also, but I forgot all about them. Man, it's so much stuff going on, Ted, out there. It's a crying shame. You, what is this? The business of drugs and stuff you got here?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man. It's a big talk right now that's going on with the opium things that's going on. Like I was reading the article, and it was saying, now they're saying something like almost pretty close to $500 billion Americans spend on drugs, and illegal and legal drugs. And the American consumer, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot of people that use drugs. I know a lot of people. Now, maybe they do use drugs, but I'm not talking about weed. I'm not talking about, that kind of stuff, like marijuana. I'm talking about hardcore drugs, opium, what is this pill that they got going on now that everybody's on now, and for pain, and they're some are being distributed legal and some are illegal. Mm-hmm. And they're actually some of those pills that's coming over, that's being distributed is coming from other countries. Mm-hmm. And so the thing is that drugs is an industry within itself, underground, and it's a big market for those people, that are young, those people that want to, what they call feel good, get high on, and so many people now are being addicted to this stuff. They're saying something like 60,000 people a year are dying off of these things, you know. And we know back in the 80s, you know, we had that crack thing that was going on, you know, with cocaine. So now the thing is that it's a moneymaker now. It's a mainstay for the underworld. So, you know, you don't hear about a whole lot of, you know, you see some of these people are, you know, what's happening is you don't hear a lot of people being busted for it. But 45 had made a statement saying that what we should do is kill all the drug dealers, you know, put them to death, you know, the drug dealers, you know. So the drug dealers are the pharmaceutical people too now. You know,
Absolutely.
because so the point is that because it's such a money thing right now, there's no stopping it because there's too many people out there that's using it, you know. And then on top of that, you got the meth people that like to use their meth, and of course that's illegal, but they have finally, in quite a few states, they have legalized marijuana, which I don't think is a bad thing. But then at the same time, you know, you can't be smoking marijuana, you know, 7 days a week and think you're gonna, you know, some people can do it and some people can't. But the point is that drugs is a money maker and it's a big part of our economy. You know, because it's some people can get it because of their health care, because they have pain. You know, you have people that have bad accidents, you know, bad, you know, or maybe broken their spine, their back or something, or leg, and they have excruciating pain and they want something for pain. So if you're talking about almost $500 billion, that's big money. And then you're talking about almost half of that is legal or illegal. You know, that's a lot of money that's being floated out there that's not being accounted for. And then you wonder where, you know, how people do things what they do and how people have what they have. That's because it's a lot of illegal stuff that's going on out there. And you know, and people go where the money is. That's where the money is. The money is in dealing drugs.
Well, while you were talking there, I went on to my internet here to find out about those drugs that you were talking about. And you're right. There's a lot of pain medicine drugs now that are being misused. There's oxycodone and Vicodin, Percocet, all those things are painkillers and stuff that doctors give to patients and stuff after surgery or whatever. And you're right. A lot of people are misusing those drugs and stuff now, and they're buying this stuff and everything and selling it on the street and everything. And these drugstores and stuff are culpable and stuff in this whole process. Speaking of that and stuff, how the pharmaceutical industry and the drugstores, whether the Walgreens or all the others and stuff, you look at those people and stuff who were sitting behind those counters, the pharmacist assistants and all the people and stuff there. Well, these people are coming in and they're buying these drugs and stuff because they are regulated and stuff strictly. And what we found out, and my wife really actually found out about it because she was getting some medicine and stuff for herself and for my son and stuff because he was sick or whatever. What they do and stuff now that I didn't even realize and stuff is that your doctor says, okay, so the doctor says you're supposed to get a 30-day supply of, say, a pain medicine, whether it's Vicodin or Percocet. Well, you don't count those pills in that bottle. Sometimes they might give you just 28 pills.
You're supposed to get 30 and you get 28.
You're supposed to get 30, you get 28. They say you got 30, you get 28. If you've got 100 people coming in there and you are shortening them 1 or 2 pills out of their prescription, you got a lot of pills coming out there, buddy.
Oh yeah, and so what they can do is
you can sell it. Yeah, you're selling it. So there's some cracks and stuff there that Trump and all the rest of these folks don't even realize they're talking about these drug dealers on this. Well, what about the dealers and stuff who sitting behind that counter and passing out drugs?
That's one way to look at it. I'll tell
Yeah.
you that.
Yeah, that's a big business, man. If you and most drugstores, man, they got 500, 600, 700 people coming in there and doing that. And then if you distribute it out of the hospital and everything, the same thing can happen. You're supposed to get 30 pills, you give them 28 or 29 pills and keep one in your pocket. And you just keep doing that, buddy, you're going to accumulate a lot of pills. And some of those pills and stuff, man, are going on the street for like $4 or $5 a daggone pill. You can make a lot of money off of that. So there's some cracks and stuff there that these politicians and everything are not really actually seeing. They just overlooking it and saying we got a big problem. But there's also a big problem there behind that counter that every day and stuff. And these big companies really don't know about it and they don't care. And if you don't count your pills, you won't know.
That's right. And you know who opens a bottle right there at the house,
right there at the thing and count them? Because most of the time you in pain. I'm in pain. I'm gonna get them pills. I'm gonna take them home. I'm gonna start taking them.
That's right. And that's it.
My pills because I'm hurting.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right.
Man, there's cracks all around that system that they need to look at. So anyway,
what is this? What is this HUD deal? What's going on with that?
Oh man, I've already written one articles in the blog and stuff. If you go out there and you look at it, you will see the first one. There's 2 more coming in there behind that. What HUD has done is that now, since this old guy has gotten in there, there are a lot of housing projects and stuff and everything that HUD has not been taking care of. Well, at least 10 or 12 years and stuff now. They have let these places fall down. And people are living in these places and stuff and everything, but if they are not living in these places, they're going to be homeless.
Right.
So they decided that they will stay in there and don't worry about it. They complain about it, but HUD doesn't do anything about it. They come out, they inspect these projects or whatever, and they still are sending payments and stuff to these people who own these projects. Well, now they're starting to look at these projects and stuff and everything, and they say, well, we can't do anything about them, so they're closing them down.
Wow.
These people don't have any place to go. And there's been a big thing about it because it's happened there in Southern Illinois around Cairo, East St. Louis, Carbondale, Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and everything, all of the areas around there who have these low-income housing. So what they are doing and stuff now, they are kicking these people out of these daggone housings, and they have to go maybe 50 or 60 miles away and stuff to these other housing projects because they don't have no place to stay.
Wow.
It's so a mess going on.
So in other words, they're creating more homeless people.
They're creating more homeless people and stuff.
They've already said that it's over 500,000 people now in America that's homeless.
They're creating more, and they're not doing anything about building any more places and stuff for them to stay.
Low-income housing. They're not building any low-income housing. Because all they doing now is building these developments all over the country. You know, wherever they see a piece of land, they're gonna build 50, 60, 70 houses and build a new development.
And they're gonna make a lot more money because the government is cutting back on Section 8 and these other folks say, hey, if they're gonna cut back, what's the sense in me building a low-income housing project and I may or may not get my money and stuff out of it. So they're not doing it. Because most of these places and stuff are built by private developers and stuff. They go in, they build these things, and then HUD goes in and fund them and stuff and everything and say, okay, we're going to give you payments and stuff to let these folks live there in these housing. So now you're telling them that you're going to cut this money and stuff out. Why would I want to invest my money in building one of these complexes and stuff and everything, and I may or may not get my money back?
Well, talking about homelessness and all of that that's going on right now, and HUD having problems, taxes is going to go up. this billionaire, Ken Griffin.
Ken Griffin. Kenneth C. Griffin.
This guy gave Chicago $10 million. You know, $10 million to a billionaire, that ain't nothing. You know, but it's better than nothing because, you know, Magic Johnson gave $10 million to Chicago, you know, a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is that maybe these people have gotten a guilty conscience now, some of them. And they realize that, you know, you can't treat people the way you've been treating people, you know, doing, you know, voter restrictions, you're incarcerating so many people, and you're not distributing the wealth as it should be. So I'm hoping that he starts a new trend. I hope some of the other billionaires realize, you know, that, you know, even though he's giving his money to different little organizations, and who knows what they're going to do with the money, you know, because, you know, that's happened. Bill Gates gave $100 million to Hillsborough County school system. Can't nobody even count for the money.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because they stole it.
They can't even
stole the money.
The superintendent jumped and left town and went to New York. So
yeah, she got to spend that money. She probably going over there to one of those casinos over there in New York and everything.
Money.
And
so the point is, you know, it's just like when President Obama gave all that money and distributed, he put it all in these other people's hands, and it didn't go down to the people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because, you know, I remember checking, man, I was looking at all the organizations, they was receiving millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, but they wasn't giving it out to the people. So the point is, I don't know how you know, getting to the, you know, the Poor People's March, I don't know how, when you got 60 million people that are basically living in poverty, how, I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't. Because now this march is going to take place sometime next month.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to figure out how in the world, what they're going to do. You know, you can march and march and march, but what are they going to do? I mean, and they make some, you know, Reverend Barber, God bless him, he's making some good points, and it's true. And this ain't just Black people. It ain't just Latino people. It's white people too, Caucasian people, so that are living in poverty. 60 million people, and a big chunk of those people, those are children. So so I don't know. I'm hoping and praying.
You said something and stuff, Ted, when you start talking about Kenneth C. Griffin and his $10 million that he donated. You said that he may have been embarrassed or something and everything, or felt guilty about what he was doing and how much money he was making. I think what Reverend Barber, one of the things that he probably and stuff was trying to do and everything is to highlight to the world and stuff and everything, all this stuff that's going on,
inequality,
inequality going on there in this country and stuff. When they're sitting out there trying to tell other people and stuff what to do, you got problems and stuff in your own house that you need to take care of because you believe in giving all of your money and your tax break to the wealthy and the rich folks and everything. So I think probably what he wants to do and stuff is to bring this stuff front and center, because right now it's behind the corners and stuff. You don't see it. It's not there. So he's trying to put this stuff right in front of their face and said, this is what you caused. And so hopefully their embarrassment and everything will cause people like Kenneth C. Griffin and stuff and everything to start doing something and everything to help these children, to put some food programs and stuff out there for the elderly, go back and give these Meals on Wheels and stuff and make sure these elderly people are getting it, go back and start paying for these school lunch programs and these school breakfast programs and stuff, so these kids can have something to eat instead of trying to say that you got to go to work, because you notice that Trump already enacted this thing and stuff, telling his departments and stuff and everything that they aren't going to do anything for the poverty or people who are on Medicaid or who are on welfare and stuff, because they got to work. We want to make sure they work because they are lazy. Well, Ted, a lot of these people aren't lazy, man. They're working every day.
Yep.
They're working 2 jobs.
Working poor.
And they still can't make ends meet. And they're telling them, you got to work. They're already working, man.
Yeah.
They're working at Walmart and Kmart, all these places and stuff, everything, and they don't have enough money to feed their families.
That's right.
They're on public assistance.
Yep.
They're on Medicaid. They're on food stamps.
Yeah, when you're making $8 an hour or whatever it is, it's like, what is that?
What is that?
You know, in today's society, you know, I mean, $8 50 years ago, okay, that was pretty good money, $8 an hour 50 years ago. But nowadays, man, you know, you got to be making, like I said, you got to be making at least $20 an hour to live to really have a living wage.
Right.
$20.
Yeah, and a family of 4, man, you still scratching.
Well, if it's a family of 4, that means the mama has to work too.
Yeah.
So
and the kids got to work on weekends if you want to do something.
so that's the whole thing, you know. And in today's age, you know, because inflation is real, man. You know, everything goes up, nothing goes down. You know, you look at the gas thing. You know, it might go down to $2.20, but you know, it's gonna go up just like it's going up now. So you know, who you know, 25 years ago, who would have thought that you'd be paying $2.75 for gas? You know what I'm saying? And when gas at that time was, you know, I don't know what it was 25 years ago, maybe a 99 cent or 79 cents a gallon.
Around $1 if it got high with $1, you know. So
yeah. So that right there eats up people's pocketbook, you know, especially if you want to have a car. And almost everybody wants a car, because we know when, like you said, you know, every year, as people get their tax money, first thing they do,
you're gonna buy them a car. You're gonna get that tax money, buy them a car, man. Them payday lenders are sitting there, buddy, trying to sell cars.
There it is. So, but I'm looking forward to this, and I'm gonna support it the best, you know, that I can, you know, and but you know, I'm listening to him. Roland Martin had him on a couple of days ago, and they had a lot of speakers there, and then this is supposed to be actual people that is running the show. These people that are living poor, that they're running the show. Reverend Barber and all the ministers that he's working with, they're not running the show. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this is all about, because these, like you said, these people are working at Target and all these places, but you know,
you're not making the ends meet. You're not making ends meet. You can't, and they have to realize this. And those billionaires who are sitting out there, there's no way they sit out there and have lunch and everything, and the lunch tag is $500, and they just give them a credit card and stuff and say, "Oh, okay, we had lunch." Well, most of these people are trying to live off of $500 in a week, not a day, not in a 2-hour sitting. That's in a whole week.
Yep.
And they're trying to live off of that, and it's very hard to do that when you got kids, you got food, like you said, you got a house note, you got a car note, you got tax insurance, you got all that stuff and everything piled up on top of you, and you got to have a way to get to work every day and stuff. So you got to have a decent car and stuff to ride in to get back and forth to work. And most of the time, your kids and stuff are going to school, and they need clothes to go on their backs, they need books or whatever, and you got to pay for them getting into school. You got to pay for their school lunch and all this other stuff and everything. Man, it's just endless amount of money that you're outlaying. and that $500 is gonna go like crazy. And most of the time, you got four kids and stuff and everything, or a family of four, you know, mother, father, brother, sister, and stuff and everything. Your food bill is almost $500 a week.
Yeah, you don't know how to do cook
right.
You don't know how to serve or whatever, you know. But you know, it's rough out there, man. You know, and we know that. And the thing is that I think this Poor People March is going to bring awareness and going to shame a lot of people.
Well, you know, it should embarrass them. They should be really embarrassed, because really, actually, if you look back at King, we just did the celebration and stuff for his death and stuff and all of that. He did the same thing. He embarrassed this nation. He embarrassed them because of what, and the white folks and stuff out there sitting out there sticking dogs on people and everything, and all they're doing is singing and walking down the street, putting fire hoses on them and all that stuff. The nation was embarrassed because, as you saw and stuff in a lot of these movies and stuff, the president sitting there and looking at this stuff on TV, is sitting there on television. It was an embarrassment. So they had to do something about it. He forced them to do something about it. So I think that Reverend Barber and all the other folks and stuff who are behind them are trying to force the nation to do something about a problem that they are hiding, and they don't want other people to know about it, and they want to close their eyes and stuff to it because they got their own problems. I got my own problems. I can't worry about them. Yes, you have to worry about them, because they are the ones and stuff who are going to create problems and stuff for you that you're going to have to spend money for, that you are spending billions of dollars and stuff to house them in prisons and stuff, because they want to take, because you can't give them anything and they can't get anything. They want to go out and take it. They want to go out there and sell illicit drugs, and then you lock them up and everything. You're paying for that.
Absolutely. Taxpayers paying billions and billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars for that. You're paying for that. You're paying for all of that. So why not pay for putting them in the classroom instead of building a daggone prison and stuff for them? It's just horrible, you know. You just creating a monster and stuff out there. There's a monster getting ready to come out of these prisons and stuff, Ted. A big monster coming out of there.
Yeah, they didn't put enough of them in there.
Yeah, they got enough. 2.5 million. Yeah. 2.5 million. Well, Mr. Harvey, we are just about at the end of our program here. We are almost at that hour mark here. We got a little late start, but
it was a couple of minutes.
Right there. I'm gonna miss my favorite lady here, man. You can call me to miss 6 minutes. Usually and stuff. She got some suspense going on right now.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know she's doing
missing it, but I will see old Lawrence.
All right, then I'm gonna let you go, bro.
Okay, and, man. I'll see you all in the audience and stuff on Saturday, and hopefully we can have at least 2 shows a week, maybe 3 shows a week. We don't know, but we're hoping that people look at our recorded version and stuff on YouTube, Ted and Ed TV channel. So I want to say goodbye to you all, and we will see you guys Saturday morning at 9 o'clock.
Saturday morning.
Bye.
Until